Hello, dear parents of my precious students. I want to take you through my class's Canvas course a little bit. I'm going to try to keep this short to answer the biggest questions that I get from parents the most often. I want to give you the tools so you can answer them yourselves. Those questions are, why does my kid have the grade they have? And how can my kid bring their grade up? I'm going to show you what tools you need to answer those questions at any time of the school year. Something you need to know before we begin is in my class, nothing is locked. Everything should be available because to me, it is less important when you learn a thing than that you learned a thing. Now, as I'm learning to work with our new curriculum study sync, they're going to mess with some of that, but that's the short version. Is I don't lock assignments because I want my students to learn what we set out to learn, even if they're learning it late. That said, what I want you to do when you want to know what's going on in language arts or when you want to figure out what's going on with the kiddo's grade is sit down with them with their Chromebooks and say, please pull up Mrs. Day's class and let's look at it together. And I'm going to show you the 3 tools that I want you to use to answer those questions. Why does my kid have the grade they have and what can they do to bring it up? When you open our Canvas course, you should see this. This is our main page. You'll notice you have home, that's where we are right now, grades and modules. Theoretically, you got to this video by clicking on Caring Adults, click here, but the first tool that I want to show you is the to-do list. Here's what's cool about the to-do list. The to-do list automatically gets rid of stuff when a student turns something in. So if what you want to know is what do I need to do for Mrs. Day's class, go to your to-do list, because if it's still there, if it's still on the to-do list, it isn't to done yet. If it's still on the to-do list, you haven't turned it in yet. So that's the first tool that can be really, really helpful. The other tool is grades. I'm going to click on grades, and this is showing me this like test student. This isn't I'm not showing you a real student's grades. Oh, dear parents, you will look at the score that they received out of how many. And I'm really a little bit sorry, but I'm going to call some people out here. I'm sorry. If you see this red missing thing, that means it has not been turned in. And guys, I'm so sorry, but this isn't like the olden days when, I put it on the teacher's desk, but she lost it. Or, if it says missing, it has not been turned in here in Canvas. And you'll notice, even when we do an assignment on paper, I still put it in Canvas. All right, so 3 tools that you are going to use the most are the to-do list, grades, so you can see why they have the grade they have. And then the other thing that I hope will be very useful to you, parents, how often have you said to your child, so how was school today? Fine. What are you doing in language arts? Nothing. Not nothing. Let me show you. Again, from our main Canvas page, to know what is going on in language arts, you would click on agendas. And then wherever we are, it's August right now. I'm going to click on August agendas. I write down every single thing that we do in class and the order that we did it and what to do if you were absent. So let's just take a random day from this week or last week. Let's look at Friday, August 12th. We began today by doing this, a link to the assignment. Then we did this. If I do any direct instruction, that's where I talk to the kids and explain stuff, I usually try to put a video there. So even if you weren't there, or even if you want to review it, it's there for you. Then we did this. Then we did this. And then it should always say in a brighter color, if you were absent today, here's what to do. So the to-do list, grades, and the agenda are probably the things that are going to help you, caring adult, know why your kid has the grade they have and how they can make it better. Now, this is an extra. This is a bonus. I try really hard to give good or at least explicit instructions on my assignments. So I'm going to go over here to modules. This is the other thing that we haven't talked about. My stuff is organized. It should be the most recent stuff on top, but then in number order. It's really important to me that your students know why they got the grade they got. I don't just slap a B on top of something and call it a day. I always want them to know why they got the grade they got, and so how they can make it better if they want to. So let's take, introduce your partner right here. If it is an assessment, it should have a rubric. And I don't know how big that is on your screen, but when I observed, and again, this is an imaginary student, when I observed your student doing something, I observed this, or I observed this, or I observed this. I also will put in specific feedback in the comments. I try really hard to give specific feedback and individualized feedback, but generally, if you want to know why they got the grade they got, it should explain there. If it doesn't have an individual rubric like this, it should say something like full credit was awarded if. Full credit was awarded if students answered the questions and then checked them with their teams, something like that. If it's not a specific rubric, and that'll usually be for classwork and homework, if it's not a specific rubric, then there should be at least an explanation why they got the grade they got. I really hope this is helpful for you. Once you've watched this, if there's something that I forgot to talk about, please email me and I will make a new video or an addition to this video. But I hope this helps you understand your kids' grades in Canvas. Final note, I know a lot of you are still used to using Focus. Focus will have just their numerical grade. Canvas is where you actually get information. What was the assignment? What score did they get? Why did they get that score? All that's in Canvas. The only thing that's left in Focus is like 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So Canvas is where the information is. Hope this is helpful. Thank you so much.